just beating his head against the steering wheel. He's got to go, and there's nowhere to go.
They're not going to help. They hate us. Not racing anybody either, which is awesome.
Alex Bowman wasn't just mad, he was furious. Richmond was supposed to be his moment, his breakthrough, his comeback story. Instead, it became a night filled with frustration, anger, and questions about loyalty and fairness. What could have been a career-defining victory slipped away in the final laps, and at the heart of it all was one driver, Shane van Gisbergen. Bowman didn't just lose a race, he may have lost his playoff fate, and that's a reality he's still grappling with. Bowman came into Richmond fully aware of the stakes. Sitting on the playoff bubble, he needed either a win or a strong points finish to keep his hopes alive. And all night long, the number 48 Alley Chevrolet was dialed in. Fast, smooth, and relentless. Bowman tracked Austin Dillon late in the race, gaining ground with every lap. Fans watching could feel the momentum building. It seemed like the perfect script for a comeback. A driver charging through the field, ready to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But then, the story took a sharp turn. Lap traffic. Not just any lap traffic, but stubborn, unyielding cars that refused to let Bowman through. Among them was Shane van Gisbergen, the New Zealand rookie making his bold transition from supercars to NASCAR's biggest stage. Running 14th and a lap down, SVG wasn't racing for position, but he wasn't making it easy for Bowman either. Holding the high line, he forced Bowman to fight tooth and nail for every inch of track. The frustration spilled over on the radio. Bowman snapped, "They're not going to help. They hate us." It was a raw, emotional outburst, a driver feeling abandoned and boxed in. His spotter tried to calm him down, explaining they had asked SVG's team multiple times to move, but nothing changed. Lap after lap, SVG stayed stubbornly in Bowman's way, and the gap to Austin Dillon stretched. Bowman's winning chance evaporated. To Bowman, this was no accident or bad luck. It felt like sabotage. And it wasn't just SVG. Jesse Love, Austin Dillon's rookie teammate, also got in Bowman's way during those crucial final laps. Bowman vented on the radio, "His teammate is just blocking me now. This is race manipulation, but whatever." That was the heart of the issue, race manipulation. In NASCAR, there's always been a blurry line between teamwork and manipulation, but when you're the one being blocked, that line feels razor sharp. Bowman wasn't just battling other drivers, he was battling the politics within his own manufacturer family. Chevrolet teams are supposed to work together, but on that night, it felt like Bowman was left out in the cold. Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Chase Elliott had already locked themselves into the playoffs. They raced for the same brand, but Bowman felt like an outsider. Alone on the bubble, he didn't have that same level of support or protection. The tension boiled over on the cool-down lap. Bowman didn't just shake his head and walk away. He pulled alongside SVG, swerved in front of him, slammed on the brakes, and threw a hand gesture out the window. It was a moment that shocked fans and media alike. A clear message of frustration and defiance. Over the radio, Bowman barked, "What he needs to do is give us the Fing exit. Why is it so hard with these Chevrolets?" The outburst wasn't just about that single race. It was a statement about loyalty, respect, and the pressures mounting on a driver desperate to keep his season alive. This conflict wasn't just Bowman versus SVG, it was Bowman versus the system. It revealed the cracks in manufacturer loyalty and team dynamics. Hendrick Motorsports has been a powerhouse for Chevrolet for years, but Bowman's words exposed a sense of isolation. Despite racing for one of NASCAR's most iconic teams, he felt abandoned. That feeling of being on your own when everything is on the line could crush a driver's confidence as much as any blocked pass. Meanwhile, Shane van Gisbergen, still adjusting to the intense world of NASCAR, walked away from Richmond with his best Cup finish so far, 14th place. For a rookie from New Zealand, that was a milestone. But to Bowman, SVG's defensive driving was a slap in the face. NASCAR has unwritten rules. Leaders get space, playoff contenders get respect, and lap cars stay out of the way. SVG didn't break any rules, but he broke the code, and it might have cost Bowman a playoff spot. The fallout divided fans immediately. Social media exploded with debates and viral clips of Bowman's radio tirades and his hand gesture toward SVG. One side said Bowman was a sore loser, cracking under pressure. The other said he was robbed of a win he desperately needed. Some went further, pointing fingers at Chevrolet's internal politics, suggesting the manufacturer was playing favorites, leaning heavily into its RCR partnership while leaving Bowman and Hendrick teammates out to dry. This drama isn't just about one race. It's about the undercurrent that runs through NASCAR, the complex relationships between drivers, teams, manufacturers, and the pressures of the playoff chase. And now, it all comes down to Daytona, the wildest race of the season, where one crash can end a season and one surprise winner can turn the point standings upside down. Bowman knows the stakes. With the way that race normally goes, it's about a must-win, he said. The pressure is enormous. A bad break, a wreck, or a new winner outside the top 16 could end his season in an instant. It's the ultimate gamble, and Bowman's last shot at redemption. The ghosts of Richmond loom large. The blocked passes, the radio outbursts, the hand gestures, they're not going away anytime soon. If Bowman misses the playoffs, this will be the moment that haunts him. But if he makes it in, this rivalry could explode into one of the defining stories of the year. SVG is learning fast, but if veterans see him as messing with playoff fates, he's making enemies. Richmond gave him a top 15 finish, but it also put a huge target on his back. Bowman's frustrations go beyond the track. They highlight the intense pressure drivers face when their entire season hinges on moments they can't control. Every lap at Richmond carried playoff implications. Every second stuck behind a slower car felt like sand slipping through an hourglass. And when the checkered flag flew, Bowman finished second, not first, which in this case might as well be last. The emotional toll was clear. Bowman's raw, unfiltered radio calls gave fans a glimpse into the mental battle going on behind the wheel. It wasn't just about speed, it was about survival. He was unraveling under pressure, a driver desperate for help but feeling like no one had his back. The tension extends beyond just Bowman and SVG. It exposes the sometimes fragile alliances within NASCAR, where teammates and manufacturers are supposed to support each other. But when the stakes are high, loyalty can waver. Bowman's comments about race manipulation and being blocked by his own manufacturer's teams paint a picture of internal conflict that runs deeper than just a single race incident. For the fans, this rivalry adds another layer of drama. NASCAR thrives on emotion, on fire, and on grudges. Rivalries fuel the sport's storylines, and right now, Bowman versus SVG is one of the hottest sparks flying. The question remains, was SVG wrong for racing hard while a lap down, or is Bowman simply a driver cracking under pressure and looking for someone to blame? That debate might never be settled, and maybe it doesn't need to be, because in NASCAR it's not just about rules or fairness, it's about passion, intensity, and moments that define careers. Daytona is the stage now, the pressure cooker where Bowman must either find redemption or face heartbreak. Whether he can channel his anger into a victory or let it haunt him into the offseason remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, Richmond wasn't just a race, it was a turning point. A moment when emotions boiled over, alliances cracked, and the true stakes of the playoff battle came into sharp focus. Bowman's season hangs by a thread, and the drama is far from over. The fight for playoff survival, the battle between rookies and veterans, and the question of loyalty within the Chevrolet camp will keep fans on edge all the way through Daytona. Because at the end of the day, NASCAR is more than just cars racing around a track. It's about the human stories, the rivalries, the heartbreaks, the comebacks, and the moments that make this sport so electrifying. Richmond gave us all of that and more. Now, all eyes turn to Daytona, where everything can change in the blink of an eye. Will Bowman rise from the ashes and rewrite his story? Or will this feud with SVG become the defining moment of his season in all the wrong ways? The answer lies ahead, on the wildest, most unpredictable track of the year. And for Bowman, the clock is ticking.